Hello everyone, today we will talk about the George Perkins count. The Dr. George Perkins count is an artist and an interaction designer working across the domains of contemporary art, design, and heavy research, with a special interest in user experience, participation, and tangible interaction. His doctoral research focused on the use of biofeedback interaction as a catalyst for reflection and conversation around ideas and experience of embodiment, heavy and soft-hold.
Sounding the Future is an exhibition curated by Gale Press that speculates on what arts in the future will sound. George Coutts' written work Mathematics 1 and 2 extends this theme of sound by explores the idea of very gentle, intimate, and potentially elusive interactions that require quiet, sustained engagement and a softened quality of attention and intentional focus. The work is made from tables of various technologies, custom-made pulse sensors, computer, heart rate controlled interactive sound, and headphones. The audience is asked to sit down at the table and place the back clip pulse sensor onto the tip of the user's finger, and after a few seconds, the audience begins to hear soft beating sound that is being triggered by the pulse. The audience is then asked for the breathing soften and gradually slow down. This action of slow exhalation is influencing the sound you are hearing and creates the feeling of kindness, connection, and compassion flowing through your body. The work Mathematics 1 and 2 align the theme of the show Sounding the Future, as it pioneers a unique path to express sound inside our body, which potentially can be a trend to invest in future interactive sound art and meditation industry. It is not questionable that the work Mathematics 1 and 2 can meditate you by calming your heart rate and create harmony relaxing environment, just like many other George's works, where he uses technologies to meditate human body. Cardiomorphologies is one of his earlier work back in 2004.
The Cardiomorphologies series explores the subjective spaces created through interaction with a simple geometric visualization of real-time heart and breath rate data. The installation is comprised of one large floor-to-ceiling video projection that is controlled by heart and breath signals from the participant who is seated a few meters away.
So first we'll fit, this is your breath sensor, and it measures expansion and contraction of the rib cage. So we'll just fit that like this. That's great. It should fit comfortably, not too tight. How's that feel?
It's a little bit tight.
What you should be able to see is that the circle in the middle expands when you breathe in and closes right down to a small point of light when you breathe out. It's pretty good. Take a seat. It's up here. This is your heart sensor. That's for your palm, that's for your fingers. And same on the other side. So in a minute you're going to start to see the screen picking up your heartbeat, and you'll see the patterns start to change with your heart rate. The smaller, redder, more intense patterns show that your heart rate's slowing down, and the larger green and yellow patterns show that your heart rate's speeding up. And what tends to happen is, as you breathe in, your heart rate will speed up, and as you breathe out, your heart rate will slow down.
This is really, all these sounds and visuals are all being driven in real time by your breath and your heartbeat. So what I'm interested in is what can we discover in ourselves in the moment, and how does this kind of experience become a reference point for thinking about who and how we can be. See here, this is at in Perth. Here's a really large projection, so you feel in your body. You don't think about this idea, you feel it in your body. Expansion, contraction, warmth, coolness. So when you're breathing out, it's closing down. When you breathe out, that slows down your heartbeat. You see the circles close down as well.
The Heart Library project is an interactive art exhibition designed for presentation in hospital and healthcare settings, schools, museums, and art galleries. It combines interactive heart rate controlled audio visuals with audience participation to create a unique environment where people can reflect, explore, and share experiences connected to ideas of embodiment, body, mind, and presence.
Thinking about what this is culture. I thought it used to be a really private thing, but then I started realizing it's a social thing. It's culture. It's how we care about bodies and think about ourselves. So in this project called the Heart Library, which I developed with Caitlin Newton-Broad and David and Greg, we really wanted to take that idea about creating a laboratory and a space where people can explore that, not necessarily in an art gallery, although we've shown it in art galleries, but also in hospitals. We thought hospitals, everyone's really thinking about what it is to have a body. So this has become it's literally a mirror. That screen above there, you see yourself. There's a little camera in that hole there, and you see yourself, but you see yourself, this technology is reflecting back something hidden about you. And you get a vision of yourself that's got nothing to do with what you look like to other people, about how good you are, how fit you are, anything like that. It's just about you, that luminosity, that feeling of you being alive in the moment. And just what a gift that is, just to take people to that very simple level. You saw those particles moving up as the heart rate goes up, and then they'll pour down. So the work, simply, I just say, you experiment with this and you see what changes. And people do all sorts of interesting things. It's a space for reflecting. I think this is what art, and especially interactive art, can be great in terms of cause and effect. And people experiment with stuff. There's that going on, but also they can just shut up and just be with themselves. Interesting, other people can be with you too. I make these as social environments. So in Taipei, we'd have about 40 people sometimes lined up, all just like, wow, that person's alive. It's their heartbeat. What are they thinking? It's red, it's blue, it's beautiful. So the other part of this work is about, how do experiences like these aesthetic, not intellectual, these feeling experiences, how do they ricochet, and how do those reference points link to all these other things in our mind? So we hit on this idea about creating these maps. The idea of these maps came from HIV projects with women in Uganda and South Africa. And I said, rather than intellectualizing it, you create
initially
a map
the first colours I used was blue, because what really interested me was that when I had I tried, if I had a thought that was self-critical, like I said, whatever it is, I can't remember what I said about myself, then the dots went red. Yeah? Then when I tried saying something, I said something that I accept myself, it all went blue. I thought, wow, how quick is that?
First of all, it was like an abstract, and then it was personal.
Feeling my depth, and then feeling the world, and feeling my depth and feeling the world, and not being able to disappear into my depth. So it was sort of this sense of having this connection.
Figuring things out, agonising over things, guilt, shame, all of those things collectively, whereas there's this incredible sense of presence and peace. That was in my own presence, not in the presence of other people's thinking.
Like the things of the blood cells really brought out the life that was within me, the actual. But the heartbeat was almost steady.
According to the website Virtual Museum, media art refers to artworks that depend on a technological component to function. The term media applies to any communication devices used to transmit and store information. By incorporating emerging technologies into their artworks, artists using new media are constantly redefining the traditional categories of art. George's artwork aimed on the universe inside our body, and he demonstrated the spaces through the medium of different technologies. In his TED Talk, Can Art Help Medicine?, the artwork he made is about our relationship with technology and how we reflect on that. Therefore, his artworks matches the definition of the media art, as I think he qualifies as a media artist.
This idea about being in the moment I find very interesting as an artist, and I'm very interested in how artworks have that capacity to bring us to a form of stillness and to being here and now in different ways. And what I've been working with for the past 10 years is heartbeat, using heartbeat to make art, using live heartbeat to make art, and your heartbeats. So I work with the autonomic nervous system. That's a big, long word. Autonomic means it's automatic. So you don't have to think about breathing, you don't have to think about your heart beating. But at the same time, it's not like we can't control it at all. We can influence that. And that's what I've been looking at in my artworks. Another thing that's really important to me is about how we think about technology. And so the art I make is about how we think about our relationship to technology and how we reflect on that. So a lot of us have had some great experiences of technology, but also some not so good ones. Very famous artist, David Rokeby from Canada, he's written about this idea about technologies and how it shapes our life and our world and our imagination. He says that technology is interactive to the degree that it reflects back the consequences of our decisions and actions. So that's an obvious thing. I press the button and something happens, yeah? But it's also like a mirror. And it reflects not only back, but also refracts what is given. It transforms us. So what is returned is something else. We become changed. So that's in a really obvious way, we become changed when we surf on the internet, yeah? We become changed when we sit in a computer for 8 hours a day, slumped over like that, and then it's like, oh, that hurts, yeah? That technology is taking a shape of us, requiring us to be in the world in certain ways. But what if that could be not necessarily something that hurt us, but something that made us, revealed something else? If that some technologies are burying parts of us, can other technologies and cultural practices bring something back out? What can we rediscover?
Arta Tanaka bridged the field of experimental museum, media art, and scientific research in embodied human-computer interaction. He is widely known for his pioneering work for signal-based instrument and by-signal mobile infrastructure and democratized digital forms. He has many familiar scenes with George, so we chose him to extend our presentation. Let's enjoy his work.